All right, guys, we're back. It's Patrick, Cory, baseball mapper. You know the deal. Is it time already?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Another installment.
30 seconds, 5 questions.
5 questions.
Each. Let's hit it. All right.
We'll get right to it. I guess we're going to get right to it.
We're going to get right to it.
Okay. I don't have to tell them. No, they know everything.
Try to bring these down, right? You know? Anyway.
Okay.
The White Sox first series was against the Anaheim Angels in Anaheim.
Yeah.
We're in the final game of the series. They faced Shohei Ohtani.
No, that was an interesting matchup.
Yeah. So in his first inning pitching, he had 101 on the radar.
Yes, he did.
And then, in the other side of the lineup, he laced a home run at 115 miles an hour exit velocity.
He's a good player.
Later on, Abreu tried to bring that all that brilliance to an end with an attempt to break his ankle. But that's neither here nor there. The question is, if this guy's on your team, do you want him coddled and only pitching, or are you going to hit him too?
You're going to hit him too. Well, and that's the thing. So I thought it was really early for you to hit me with a White Sox trolling question. So I'm glad
wasn't really a troll, but he tried to take out one of the best players in a game.
I think that just ended up being where he was at that moment of the game. But anyway, not dirty at all. Not a dirty. You aren't going to suspend Jose Abreu for that. It's a good point because not only is he he's probably the most important pitcher in their rotation. He has the potential to be their ace. And he also is batting second in that lineup. So he's batting in front of Mike Trout. So it's a unique situation where if we were to have any pitcher who would be good enough to be a bat in the lineup on a regular basis and be your 4th or 5th starter, you would take it, right? I think your question is, if I had a Shohei Ohtani, would I want to coddle him or would I want him to do both those things, right? I think it depends on the team. I don't look at the White Sox with Shohei Ohtani as he has to be our ace because we have a current ace with Lucas Giolito. But the Angels do not. And for years, the issue with them has been pitching. And so if I had to choose, if you lose him, he gets injured, now he's out for a period of time. Right. Now you don't have that pitcher. And they are without a stud pitcher again. Now their lineup is full of studs. I mean, they have some good hitters. He was just an extra good hitter. It's like being without Eloy Jimenez for the White Sox right now. You've got a bunch of stacked professional hitters in that lineup. I think they need to do whatever they can to keep him as a pitcher. I know he wants to be both, and I know he's a good hitter, but you have to have him as a pitcher. So the answer is whatever gets Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher, you need it. Lame. He's important on that team.
That's a lame answer.
That's a lame answer?
Let him play ball. Anyway, that was way more than 30 seconds for a terrible answer.
That was 45 seconds. I don't know. It was close. That's how I feel. He needs to pitch.
Oh, God, man. Having that electric personality on both sides.
And he's a draw.
Yeah,
he's a draw out there, too. A lot of people coming to see him.
All right. Question 2. We decided to buy the 5-game flex plan for the Milwaukee Milkmen.
Yeah.
American Association. They're going to stick with their electronic tickets this year that they started last year during COVID.
Yeah.
What do you think about these electronic tickets versus the old school paper version?
You know, this is one of those things where I would like to get feedback from people. I think I would like to know how you feel about this as well, because I've come out every now and again, whether it's in a video or posts I've done on Instagram or something like that. I am, of course, of the old school belief that that is the number one souvenir you have to start. And then you get something else from there. Now we're getting to the point now where that one's gone. So you're going to have to replace it with something else. And we've been in a situation where we go somewhere and teams don't have something else for us. So I don't have a hard ticket and there isn't like a sticker or something. Like, what am I getting? Right. Well, you might have to get a hat. But what if there isn't a hat in your site? Well, then you walk away with nothing. That was never an issue. At least with the souvenir, it's almost like your photograph of the game. Yeah. You had that picture with you. If you didn't have your camera, you had that. Now we all have cameras, and so I guess we can all have it. But what happens with digital cameras? People don't keep their pictures. I still have like an album of my ticket stubs. Do you do anything with yours?
Yeah, no, I got a whole shoebox full, basically.
Yeah.
But interestingly, last time I think we went to Houston, I had to pay $5 extra per ticket to get it printed out versus the electronic one, and we did that.
Every year with my White Sox ticket plan, I have to pay extra to have them printed. It's crazy to think. I understand paper costs more than nothing, but the idea of it saving time is funny. It is such a new technology. The idea of it being a quick way into the ball, it's not the case. People are fumbling around. I thought I screenshotted it, and you're waiting for somebody. And you're
I'm always so worried my phone's just gonna die.
And then what?
And then what? Yeah,
I wish I had a hard ticket to walk in and hand to the guy and have him rip the other. Anyway, so you know how I feel. How do you feel out there? Are we the only the miserable old bastards on the lawn yelling to have our ticket stubs? I want to know. Let us know.
Question 3.
Let's go.
All right, we went to the USS Alabama.
That was a great time.
As well as a submarine during a recent trip to see a baseball game.
USS Drum.
Oh, yeah, it was really cool. I liked it as well. It was way cooler than I expected, something I really enjoyed. Thinking back on your baseball road trips, tell us one of your favorite non-baseball activities that you've done or attractions that you've visited.
Oh, man. See, this is the thing where I wish I had more time because I'm bound to forget something. I typically, if I'm with the family, if we are traveling, and I know there's some other people, whether it's on Twitter or something like that, different people who we're connected to. I know there are people who partner national parks and ballparks together, and I'm definitely one of those. We always tend to do that. So we were on our way to Memphis, I believe, a few years ago, and we stopped at Shiloh Battlefield. I'm big into Civil War stuff, and so I'm walking around and we're checking out all these different monuments. We come across Duncan Field, which my son's name is Duncan, so that's just one that stands out. I tend to find those things along the way. Road trips are great for that, though. You should be
Hockey
looking.
Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing bigger than that fitting into a road trip for sure. Like, that was important to me. I'm glad you guys were cool with that. We got to see the Stanley Cup. That's awesome.
Right. And I learned at least that there was different versions.
There's more than
the silver
one,
version and the one they let the players touch.
Right. There's one out and about, and there's one that's sitting there that has the older rings. Right. Absolutely. I knew I would forget something. It's a good thing you have a chance to plan and celebrate that you could come up with the coolest answers. I picked a Battlefield. It was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good question, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, now that we have a minute to take a break, if you haven't noticed, all of our 5 questions videos, we spend a lot of time focusing on our local brews, our breweries nearby us. We always try to highlight somebody in particular, get some beer for us to enjoy while we're going over our questions and doing our recording. Well, yesterday was National Beer Day, right?
Yeah.
So we couldn't choose just one. We've got lots of beer on the table. Right. We drink a lot of varieties, whether it's the sours or the hazy IPAs, or what did you bring here? The Modelo?
The Chelada, man.
The Chelada?
I don't know much about it, but I'm trying to integrate with the White Sox culture, the Latinx culture. Right. And so I picked that up, man. They're really popular right now.
Modelo's a big sponsor.
We're going to try that.
That's a big sponsor of the White Sox. I think we can catch that at a game at Guarantee Rate Field this year. We also got stouts. We've got all kinds of our favorite beers. So support your local breweries. Wherever you are, I know some of you are doing it every day anyway. But if you have not, don't forget them. They need our support too. We've got some local businesses around here. There's a place around the corner, Beer Bazaar here in Grays Lake, that has a great selection of beer. So we can try brews from all of these different local breweries if we can't get in the car and make it to all of them. So shop local, drink local. Whether we're coming out of the pandemic or not, you should be doing that. That's what we're doing. All right. Question 4.
Question 4 comes via a book that I bought. We mentioned it in a previous video.
Let's get a link for that.
Yeah, we'll do that because I forget what the book is called. I should have quit yesterday.
Hey, I should have quit yesterday. That's it.
Anyhow,
Sounds right.
When a player is promoted from the AAA to the bigs, he goes from earning about under $5,000 a month to $5,000 a day.
Oh my God.
2-part question. All right. What is 25-year-old version? Because that's about when you get promoted, right?
Right.
What's 25-year-old version of Patrick doing with that first paycheck? And then, what is presumably an older and wiser Patrick,
Presumably,
of today, doing with that paycheck?
Oh,
that first paycheck.
That's a really good question, because a lot of these kids are like sending money home. They're buying their parents a nice house because they can't really enjoy a nice house, right? If they're going to get something nice for themselves, they might get something like a car or something like that. I think that's probably where I would start at 25. It also depends if you have a family. At 25, I did. So if I was single, I would probably pick maybe something a little more frivolous. What I would consider is get myself a nice car and have it paid off. The idea of paying something off, like you don't have to make a payment on it because you have the money right away. I think older, wiser. If I was making $5,000 a day, I mean, I'm putting that into real estate. I'm getting myself a property that's going to be awesome for retirement. And I think that's what a lot of players do. Fortunately, probably one of their first paychecks goes into finding somebody really trustworthy with their money, hopefully, that they can count on to help them make some good decisions. That's what I would be looking for, is finding somebody I thought I could trust. Fortunately, I know a great realtor in my wife, and I'd be like, honey, we've got this money. Where are we looking at? Oh, you want to get a cabin in Tennessee? Well, that sounds great to me. That's the kind of stuff I would do.
It's the lamest shit ever.
Yeah.
Because I would have a giant fucking party. And,
We did the strip club?
Right. Well, no.
Just in general? Okay.
Just in general, man.
Right? With like 4x4s in the backyard and with ramps into a pool or something?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, some dumb shit. Some real dumb
That
shit.
shit.
That's great. I've always been a little more responsible, I guess.
Right.
I guess.
So,
Okay.
all right.
That is crazy, though, to think that minor league players go from $5,000 a month, sleeping on people's couches, right, to $5,000 a day.
Now, a lot of those have signing bonuses
Right.
of, sometimes over $1 million.
Right.
So they have a nest egg already.
Or they
a lot
bought
of
the
times.
cars and jewelry.
Right. So
They're in the videos with Yohan Nakata.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of cases where they're getting, luxury cars delivered to minor league stadiums.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So,
Right.
Anyhow.
You learned a lot in this book. It sounds good.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm going to read it next.
That's it.
Last question.
Last question.
Question 5. Let's get it.
All right, what do you think about that bright yellow Boston Red Sox City Connect jersey?
Mm-hmm.
And what if the White Sox did some crazy shit like that?
Okay, so I didn't realize I had a hot take. I like it. Wow. And for whatever reason, whether it's because I used to be really into long distance running, I know what the Boston Marathon is, and the colors of the Boston Marathon are what the Red Sox chose to go with. It is a drastic change from their color scheme. I get it, right? But the yellow and blue is indicative of the Boston Marathon.
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was all about.
It is and that's why
Doesn't make it not ugly.
Well, I think that's why people are there's been so much outrage. Like on Twitter in particular, it's been ugly. But on social media altogether, people are like, what the hell is this? If that's what Nike's doing, they're ruining the game. And I think what they're connecting the city series. This is, if you are going to represent Boston, how about the community of runners? So I understood what it was right away. I realized from the response from the masses that a lot of people didn't. And so whatever the White Sox come out with, the Cubs are going to come out with one too. So the major cities are doing this too. It should be something that locally and to hell with the national audience. Wow. Right? If the Cubs do some random shit,
I'm just too basic to understand is what you're talking about.
I guess so. Right. I want to pick up a book one time about the Boston Marathon. It's the crowning achievement of the distance racing community. It's a big deal to get into the Boston Marathon.
It doesn't make it not ugly.
I like it.
I'm just saying.
I like it. I think it's cool. I think maybe in the future Nike puts out a couple so we can have a little context. Maybe that would help so they could explain some things. Right now, all we have is a yellow Boston jersey, and you're like, what the hell happened? Yeah. I get it.
Put out the companion video.
You need to put down like the whole paragraph essays that were written into getting this approved.
Right.
I get it. I'm not sure. I don't know what the White Sox have in mind. That might be something interesting to think about. Like, what could those companion city collection series jerseys be for the Chicago?
God, I hope it's not anything to do with Deep Dish Pizza. Hot dogs.
Right, hot dogs would be bright yellow. We'll get a bright yellow one. We'll see what they come up with. All right, we'll keep you posted. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's installment of 5 questions. As always, we kept it very strict to our 30-second time limit.
We sure did.
And we always are trying to make it better than the previous week. This week, nice job on your questions. I hope my answers weren't terribly disappointing for everybody else besides Cory. And we'll just try to do better next time. What else can we do? All right.
See ya.